But this is second term, and it's the first day of schools opening. The opening, at least for public schools, some private schools had already opened a week before. But one key issue this week is about the issue of guidelines that were set by Minister of Education and Sports. How practical are they? How effective will they be in streamlining the issue of trying to see that, yes, we have a better education system? Let me speak to an educationist. He's a politician, but he's also a director of Chisasi College School, Al-Haj Latif Sebagala Sengene. Good morning to you, and thank you for hosting us.
Morning to you, and morning viewers. Thank you very much for coming to Chisasi College School. And I think our viewers will get to know how we are going to move as far as second term is concerned. Yes, for you,
first of all, let's begin with the resumption of school. How is it, first of all, for here at Chisasi College, but also other schools? Are you getting any reports about the resumption of school?
Of course, schools, this is the official day for opening of schools, according to the Ministry of Education calendar. But some schools definitely opened last week, and this is their second week. But officially, this is the official date for Ministry of Education. I know that many parents are still having challenges as far as meeting the school requirements and school tuition is concerned. But my humble appeal to all parents who are there: don't sit at home with your child at home. Go to your school, where your child goes. Talk to the headmaster. Many schools are listening, because the moment you just sit back that you are waiting for the money, then 2 weeks or 3 weeks will pass by, and they're not going to say there is a reduction because of the 3 weeks you have not attended. So it's better you go, make a payment plan. Many schools allow payment plan, and I request my fellow directors in very many schools, please accept payment plans from parents, so that as they look for money, then the student is not losing. So I think that would be the best way forward.
But also, as we see on the issue of the school fees, there was a time when they were talking about increment of schools. Government was trying to come in and say, you know what, school directors, school teachers should at least not either increase, but also send away parents and children.
Of course, in the era of liberalization, where we are seeing that many institutions, many privates are run privately altogether. So schools is one of the private institutions altogether. So when you're looking about private investors, we're talking about those who are having schools altogether. So when you talk about school fees regulations, it could be a little bit difficult, because you are going into, you're opening a Pandora box. Because now, go to the hospitals. Wow, hospitals, private hospitals. Are you going to regulate these hospitals? So what, to me, the most important element is the parent, you find a school that you can afford. Definitely, when it comes to health care, many of us go to hospitals where we feel we can afford. If you believe that taking your child for circumcision in a certain hospital, they charge you 2 million, and yet there are other hospitals where they can charge 100,000 for circumcision, the choice is yours. So even schools, that should be the way forward.
Let's also talk about the issue of these guidelines, new ones that came out last week by the Minister of Education, to see that there is a conducive learning environment. Some of them, of course, they are in the public domain. Are they practical enough? Are they effective? Do they help education system?
Ministry of Education is our mother ministry, and definitely they must guide, because they are the ones that are mandated to do so. Of course, things have gone a little bit wild and a little bit far. When you look at some of the things that the minister has talked about, definitely I think they would have been done earlier than before altogether. Because when you talk about prom party, we have seen how students are pressurizing their parents about having those prom parties altogether. We have seen a lot of luxuries in those prom parties altogether. So when the ministry comes out to say, no, please, we are regulating, because now it has been competition. The other school, they bought Land Cruisers. The other school, it is a helicopter. This time around is the dress code. You must pay 10 million, 5 million. So I think the ministry is right to come in that area. when it comes to maybe providing parents coming with food at schools, that's really food for thought, because there are some schools that you don't go with any meal, you find the meals at school for security reasons, because you may take food when it is poisonous altogether, or you may take food and then the whole school the following day suffers altogether from food poison. So I think those guidelines are good, but I think we can also look at other guidelines that we can look at as administrators.
For me, personally, there's one that I found really unrealistic. The one of you, for example, South College School here, you have other neighbors, and then on a visitation day, you have to liaise with them so that you don't hold the same visitation day or any school activity. That's on the same day.
I think in some guidelines that we are stakeholders, and we are right to also advise the ministry, because we are stakeholders. We are the consumers.
Was there even a consultation with you?
No, there was no consultation, because we are the consumers of these guidelines. So they must consult us altogether. So you cannot say that liaise with schools around you to see or to set dates for various activities, not only visitation days, but also open days, sports days, altogether. So if the ministry cannot have different reporting dates altogether, that school from senior 1 to senior 2, let them report on 25th. From senior 3 to senior 4, let them report on 27th. So if the ministry cannot do that, why are you expecting the schools that are privately owned and that they run their business the way they wish, altogether according to their guidelines? There is no way how you can convince a certain school that has in its school program that we are going to have our visitation day on this date altogether. So I think let the ministry guide us where it's really practical. But if we bring in guidelines that are not practical, definitely we cannot.
But there is also something that to do with patriotism. I see patriotism classes being held in schools, but also NRM as a party has been registering learners who are 16 years and above. But on the issue of campaigns, there is the new guidelines that they are not supposed to put up, pin up posters or flyers. Is this also something that is good, or will also limit them their exposure to politics?
Because during our days at the university, we used to have campaigns altogether, and those campaigns were extremely colorful. But these days, you cannot even know that there are some campaigns going on at the university, because it's now a social media kind of campaigns altogether. So when it comes to secondary schools and other tertiary institutions, we are in a multi-party dispensation altogether. So we are training our learners to know how to live harmoniously, irrespective of our various political affiliations. Now, if we train them from school that I can belong to NUP, you can belong to NRA, and we can live together, altogether, I think that kind of training is what I can also term as patriotism. Because I can accept your views as NRA, you can accept my views as NUP, and then we move together, altogether. So I think here we'll be doing a disservice, because these are the learners that are going to be the leaders of tomorrow. We must train them how to tolerate, because we must train them that kind of tolerance, that regardless of your political affiliations, you can work as Ugandans, you can work as a team, you can work for the betterment of our country.
There is also something that touches on the safety of learners, teaching and non-teaching staff, but also the parents. Your school last term had an unfortunate tragedy of the fire outbreak. For schools out there, not only for Kisasi, what should they do to help make sure that, yes, the safety of learners, especially in dormitories, is paramount, but also have you been able to reestablish this building?
Yeah, safety of learners is paramount, because in any learning environment, the moment there is no safety for learners, then you have seated on time bomb altogether. We have seen these fire outbreaks in various schools, not only schools, even in markets, even in factories and other institutions altogether. So fire outbreaks are not a preserve only for schools altogether, but even in other institutions. So I think what we should do, because any fire outbreak is a lesson. altogether. Now, when we got this fire outbreak towards the end of that term, the girls' dormitory was affected and it was burnt to ashes. All property lost. But we thank the Almighty God that we didn't lose any life altogether. Because whatever was lost is irrepressible. And right now, as we say, we have repressed the dormitory and we have repressed all other properties that were lost altogether. So if it was life, then that would be a different story. So we are very grateful to Uganda Police because they responded in time. So Mr. Pande Tanui and your team, we are very grateful that you responded in time. And in fact, if they had not responded in time, we would have got many dormitories burnt. But we are moving on.
What should schools do?
I think what should schools do and what we have done, we have installed fire detectors in all dormitories and administration and classes, fire alarm detectors. Secondly, fire extinguishers. Thirdly, we have taken students through fire drills so that they can know the do's and don'ts in case there is fire outbreak. And maybe finally is also to put in place strict laws for dormitory entrance. Right now, you cannot access the dormitory. Even if you're a staff or you're a student, you cannot.
Thank you. 30 seconds. Minister of Education is on a new term, new curriculum is in the offing. What should be done at schools but also with the ministry?
Of course, the Ministry of Education should continue sensitizing the masses, the stakeholders about the new curriculum. Now we have the new curriculum in Senior 5 altogether. So more sensitization, more workshops should be held by the Ministry of Education, and in fact, we should have all these workshops around across the country, because there are so many schools outside there that are now doing what we call hybrid syllabus. They are using the old curriculum and then they are using the new curriculum. So we need to have various workshops to train our teachers on how to go about this new curriculum.
Thank you so much, Honorable Alhaji Latif Sibagala Sengendo. Is one of the few directors who also engages in class. I know I put him out of class. He's a director, but also engages in teaching the learners. Thank you so much for your time. I will let you now go back to class and engage the learners. He is also an educationist and a politician, and we shall keep watching you as you go for that Kawempe division proposed. Prince Regina Naroga, take it over from me because Honorable here has to go back to the class.
Right, thank you so much, Stephen Mbite. Now we also move on to the aviation sector that is having some great transformation happening, especially with the Uganda Airlines that did launch a recent route directly to London. So you don't